Hey guys, Christian here, and I cannot believe how hot it is right now in Norway. It's ridiculous. I mean, I know there's no sun out right now, but I don't know if it's ever been this hot as long as I've been alive. I think it's like the hottest summer in 30 years or something in all of Scandinavia. And it's like in the hundreds, probably, Fahrenheit, it's like upper 30s Celsius. I know a lot of you Americans are like, well, it gets up to 110 degrees here or whatever, in like certain places in California. But the thing is, we don't have any air conditioning, so you can't really escape anywhere. But it's nice for a change. But man, it's really really hot. So just gotta keep hydrated. I got a question on YouTube. This was a while ago, and I can't remember exactly the phrasing, but it was this girl who asked if it was okay for her to want to look beautiful and make herself look beautiful, basically, if that was something that was okay. And I don't know exactly the specific reason why she asked the question, so I'm going to take some liberties with the question. But since she asked that, I'm kind of thinking she probably, well, she's wondering whether or not it's okay, first of all. So maybe she's doubting a little bit whether it might be wrong, completely wrong, to want to look beautiful. And that should be something that shouldn't be strived to do in any way. So, is it important? Is beauty important? Is external beauty important? And well, here's the thing: if we say, because we live in a society where external looks and beauty is overemphasized, and people try so hard and they get plastic surgeries and actually end up looking ridiculous and not beautiful, in my opinion. We try so hard to look beautiful. So then what a lot of people will do is they will take that and be, okay, since it's so overemphasized, the way the world is doing it is completely off, then we're going to take it to the other extreme and just say that it's not important whatsoever. External beauty just isn't important. And that's another mistake, because God created the world to be beautiful, and obviously it's important to him if he made the world so beautiful. So the thing is, the enemy, and when I say the enemy, I mean the devil, he can't create anything. He can't, he's not creative like we are. That's one of our biggest weapons. And we're creative, and women in particular bears the child. That's being creative out of, if anything. So the only thing he can do is distort. He can distort our, God creates something, he creates beauty, and the enemy, the only thing he can do is distort it. So when we say something, things like, well, it's not important, beauty is not important, or whatever it is, we're actually giving him way too much credit, because he didn't create it, God created it. So it just needs to be put in its rightful place. So I think it's perfectly fine for you to want to look beautiful and for you to dress up and put makeup on, whatever. But it's a problem if you can't. I know some girls, they can't even go to the mailbox without putting makeup on. Now that's just ridiculous. That's just taking it way too far. And the thing is, those things is not what makes you beautiful. The thing is, if you're a woman, then you were born to be beautiful. That's who you are. It doesn't matter what the world says and what a particular standard is of beauty, because it's the way that God made you. And there's no trying. There's no for you to try and get to a place of looking beautiful, because you already are. I mean, there are tons of women that might have the perfect features that just aren't appealing, because there's something missing about, well, that comes from the inside. And it's not that they couldn't be beautiful, it's just that there's something that's covering it up, because what's inside is actually what makes the outer part beautiful. I mean, I know women that I've just looking at them first time, maybe didn't really think much at all, but getting to know them and seeing just their hearts, and I'm like, whoa. Then all of a sudden they become incredibly attractive, and I start noticing physical features on them. that I find really beautiful and really attractive. So it's just really interesting how that works. So it's really important that you know that there's nothing that you need to do to become beautiful, because you already are. And there's a scripture that I really like that's in 1 Peter verse 3 to 4. It says something like, I'm paraphrasing this, but it's like, don't be concerned merely by the external, like putting dresses on and jewelry and braiding of the hair. And it doesn't say that it's wrong, but don't be concerned just with that, but with the inner person of the heart, with the imperishable quality of a quiet and gentle spirit, which is precious in the sight of God. And that is something that I think is so beautiful. It just describes it really beautifully, just with the imperishable quality. Because looks, physical look, we're all gonna get gray hair. We're all gonna, get wrinkles and whatnot. But with the imperishable quality of a quiet, and quiet means it's kind of peaceful in this context, and gentle spirit, which is soft. And I think having a soft heart is really one of the most beautiful qualities, feminine qualities of a woman. And it doesn't mean weak in any way, but when that gets projected, and you see that through her eyes, then that woman becomes really beautiful. And what's really interesting about the eyes as well is that eyes don't change. A woman who's 20 years old or 80 years old, her eyes doesn't get wrinkles, and the eyes are the windows to the soul, like you say, so, or the heart, whatever you want to call it. So those are some thoughts that I have, and I hope that was encouraging for you, because you really don't have to try in any way. So I'll see you guys next time, and take care. I'm going to try and survive in this heat right now.